What's going on, my babies? Welcome back to another episode of The Spiritual Word. As always, I apologize for any noises in the background in advance and anything of that nature. I'm sorry if you guys can hear my fan. Like I said, it's going to be on all summer. So, before I start these, I like to start these off with a disclaimer by stating that these are for entertainment purposes only, and to always do your own research, to come to your own conclusions, to have your own answers, and I believe in your ability to do so, to be your own person, as you've already proven me correctly by clicking on today's episode. So today's episode and tomorrow's is going to be kind of like part 1, part 2. And I'm just going to talk about how to be, quotation marks, more spiritual, because I feel like when I meet people who are spiritual, they kind of, how do I explain this? They look for guidance within me, if that makes sense. And after self-reflection on that said thing, on that very thing for as long as I've been doing, I would say it's been like 2 years of me self-reflecting on that piece of like knowledge, I guess you could say. Like the things that I've experienced is a lot of the times people will be like, oh my gosh, how do you know that? But it's normally the people who don't practice spirituality and stuff like that, so, or the people who are just barely getting into it, or the people who get into rabbit holes instead of actually identifying their own spirituality and stuff like that. And when I looked at the timestamp, like when I looked over at the timestamp, it was 111. And ones are the number of starting something, and ones are also the number of manifestation, right? Start something. So that is so funny because I've been thinking about this. This is gonna be off topic, and I'm sorry, but like if you're here, if you've been here long enough, you already know that I run off on tangents all the time. My brain just does it a 180, takes hard lefts, hard rights. It just does what it wants. So I've been thinking about this person that I'm manifesting, but I'm not manifesting a specific person, if that makes sense. Like I'm just manifesting a person, and I'm manifesting a future person, if that makes sense, like a future partner. And because I like girls, I'm manifesting a girl, obviously. And I was thinking about how yesterday I astral projected for the first time, and I was able to like actually meet this person. I didn't get to see their face because there's something about my guidance system that doesn't allow me to see into the future. I think it's because I have control issues, low-key, and I want to know who it is, and I want to know like when it's happening, and like all these crazy details that life is not gonna give me. Like people have premonitions and like dreams about their future, and they'll know what's gonna happen, right, in order to like either protect them or somebody that they love and stuff like that. And I feel like that's the only time that life is able to intervene with you right now. And I also feel like those people don't have control issues. You know what I mean? Like those people don't experience life the same ways that I experience life. And I would say that I have control issues per se, but like it gives me anxiety to not have control. And I feel like that's why I want to know what this person looks like. I want to know what they sound like. I want to know their name. I want to know, all these crazy things. But all I'm able to pick up on is just like little kind of like what is it called? Like what is it called? Fuck. Breadcrumbs. There you go. I'm only able to follow the breadcrumb trail, and I'm like looking so fucking forward to like finding the piece of bread, But anyways, I digress. So I don't even know why the fuck my brain was like, oh, let's talk about this. But anyways, so spirituality as a whole, I feel like you just have to want to do the thing and just do the thing. Like it's that simple of a process. And if you want to be, quotation marks, more spiritual, just meditate or journal or I would say meditation is probably like the biggest piece of advice that I can give you. Meditate, but have topics on what to meditate. For example, the first meditation training that I ever did was at this Buddhist retreat center, and we did the 10 or the 7 mind trainings. And it's basically contemplations that Buddhism like gives for you to think about in your meditative state and see what comes from those things. Most of the time when you meditate on these trainings, they'll invoke a lot of feelings, sometimes they'll invoke fear, sometimes they'll invoke peace, sometimes they'll invoke happiness, but see what arises in you. And being more spiritual, quotation marks, more spiritual than you are right now, it's just about paying attention to the spiritual side of life. It's not about the more or less that you have, or the knowledge, or the lack of knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, you really just have to focus on the things that you're not paying attention to right now, and the spiritual is just the things that you don't see. So focus on the things that you don't see, like the fact that you don't see your thoughts. You don't see your feelings until they physically come out of you, right? You don't see your blood until it comes out of you. You don't see your sense of spirit, your sense of self, your sense of worth, your sense of happiness, your sense of peace. There's so much that you don't see. Just like there's so much in the etheric, quotation marks, etheric realm that you don't see. Like, for example, you don't see the transmissions from your phone being taken and radioed off into physical space, physical nothingness, being taken from a satellite, from physical nothingness. The vibrations that touches the satellite grabs the fucking, what's the easiest way I can use to describe this? Your phone sends radio signals to the satellite picks it up, sends it back to a different phone or a different connection through radio frequencies. You don't see frequencies. You don't see you physically changing the channel on your TV as you changing its frequency. You don't see electricity as a vibration. You don't see sounds, colors, lights as a spectrum of vibration. You don't see words. You don't physically see sound. Think about those things. Think about the things that you don't think about. Think about the fact that you don't think about your thoughts. They just happen. Think about the fact that, contemplate the idea that you are not in control. Contemplate the fact that you are a raindrop in an ocean. Contemplate that. That would be like the fucking best, easiest, would get you where you're trying to get to the fastest. Contemplate that you are a raindrop in an ocean. And then, come back and comment what you thought about that. What was your contemplation about? What feelings, what thoughts were evoked? Is that a word? But what did it make you think about? And yeah, that's gonna do it for today's. Tomorrow is gonna be more kind of like tips and tricks, and I don't know what the fuck. I'm like, anyways. So I hope that this was helpful in any way, shape, and form. As always, my babies, thanks for being here. I love you so freaking much, and I thank you so freaking much for supporting me and watching these, because, I hope that these are helpful for you, because that's what I want to do. I want to be helpful for you. And so I hope that these are helpful. Or if not, at the very least, I hope that they're entertaining. Thanks for tuning in and tapping in, my babies. I love you and I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.